Okay, so in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to show how we can grab the ID that was used to gain access in quotation marks and send that to a file in real time online. Now, question that the students might have, or you might pose to the students, is how come with the UPC codes we did it in batch mode, where we wrote it first to a file, and then from the file we wrote it out to a database. Well, with an entry access system, you probably want to see that in real time. And then by doing it real time, and you'll see when we get to the PHP script, it saves us from throwing an RTC module on there. We can get the time when it gets to the server. So that's the way I look at it, is that you want to do an access control system and you want to see that real time. So here I've got the sketch, and the sketch is similar to the access control sketch. The only difference is that we went through and we've added the ESP8266. So as you go through here, everything looks pretty much the same. Shouldn't be anything new. And as I said earlier, you could pretty well go through and make a few lessons just on the RFID module itself, but that's not what we're going to do. So let's go up and let's just kind of look at, again, our stuff that we're going to use for the ESP8266. So here I've declared global variable of object type software serial. We've got pin 2 and 3. That'll be our receiving and transmission on the UNO. We've got here our GET request, our CIP send, and our ID. Here, also, again, we have our reset function. That after access is allowed, we wait a few seconds, then we go ahead and close it up and reset the function. Now, so I've got my begin, serial begin, my ESP serial begin right here. I've got my send data, which is all just like we've done in the past in other videos. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to loop, and as I loop through here, we'll see that, hey, it's, we want to read. In fact, let me go back up here and show right where we're saying we've got new card detected. We've got warning messages. Reset the loop. Here we go. So right here in our setup, I've got scan card for entry. So that sends a message to the user. And then we come through here and we've got, as we go through the print. And I'm just using the little helper function, the print decimal. And I've set my hard code again to 621914627. Entry allowed, and you'll see, like before, the bolt in quotation marks will open. But then I'm going to go ahead and do a send get request. And if we go down here now, the send data, send get request should all be familiar to you. So that's really pretty much it. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and plug in. Let me plug in my UNO. Let me get that going. Let me set up here. Let me get my video going. Let me see if I can get that set up here. Make sure I'm trying to do it in a way that where you can kind of see everything pretty well. Let me kind of move things just a bit. I want to see here where you can see the card and you can see the bolt. I don't think that looks too bad. Let me go up here to my tools and my serial monitor. From that, and you know what, I'm going to, and I wasn't going to because I've uploaded this already, but it may not be a bad idea to remind you that when you're uploading, you've got to go ahead, since we're doing the reset function, and pull your jumper out of pin 0. All right, so I've got it out of pin 0. Let me go ahead and upload on here. We'll go through, let's look at our COM, and we're done uploading. You can see the action for the ESP 8266. I'm looking, so it's going to go through here, and now I was going to say I can scan card for entry. So let me go through, and I'm going to go through and, in fact, you know what, let me go ahead and start the video. So I've started the video. Let me plug this back into 0, pin 0, if I can do this. I think I got it. That looks good. All right, so let me grab one of my cards that I've got, and let me scan it, and you can see the entries allowed on it. It's going to send out the data, and we'll go over there and look at that real quick online. So we've got, then what's going to happen is going to go through, it will reset the module, and we should see scan card. So it's closed, ready. So I'm going through again, reinitializing my ESP8266, and we'll see scan card when we're ready. And then this time I'll put in a bad card, and you see access is denied. All right, so let's go over now to our log, and let me refresh this. And the log that I've got here is entry log text. Let me click on that, and we'll just view it. And you'll see right up here, 11/12/52 a.m. And this is the ID, the NU ID from the card that allowed the entry. Let's take a look at the code. So let me scroll down here. A couple of things I want to point out. So I've got write entry log. Let me view that. Now, here we're going to grab the ID from the get string that gets sent over. This right here, you want to make sure that you set your default time zone from where the entry point is. Otherwise, you're just going to pick up the time from the server, and you don't want that. So I'm here in LA, so I set it America, Los Angeles. Then I format my date and time, and then I'm just going to go ahead and write it out. So that's really all there is to this. And again, you might want to ask the students, why do you think we did it in real time as opposed to setting up a batch job? And then you might want just, again, re-emphasize what the difference is between batch and a real time. So that does it for this. Let me go ahead and kill this.